Hello everyone, this is Div the Sunny Panda and welcome to my playthrough of This Is the Police, a strategy slash management slash adventure game in which you play the role of the chief of police of a town that's going downhill. Let's jump in. I loaded up the game, played the first scene just to make sure that I know what I'm doing, and it's going to be a thing with me that I always make a fool of myself in the games that are caught, but that's fun, right? That's why some people watch gameplays, is to see how much others goof up. Okay, so we're starting our first day. It's July 15th, a nice Monday. We have some dodgy titles, headlines. Mayor Rogers is a sex maniac. City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. That's us. And the fact, Freeburg's #1 newspaper, Mark Ward 2, to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. Okay, so that's good. The town is getting a movie earlier due to the mayor's request.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher.
Alright. Though I don't believe it's always the right idea. It's a good idea to not talk to reporters, Frank. Like, if you're just saying something out to them, blurbing them, that's what gets most people into trouble.
This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them.
So we're attending a press conference as the chief of police.
I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
They're smarter than you think, Jack Boyd. Alright. Good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? Alright, we'll say it was a surprise. I thought I'd be working as a policeman for another 5 to 10 years. I just want to serve the city. I was very surprised, of course. Do you already know the name of your successor? No? Of course not, and I don't think the mayor's office knows who it is either. That's throwing some shade at the mayor. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy Francis Kendrick said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? It was a scandal. It's, perhaps. Sounds possible if he thinks the new office would help him serve the city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about it? Bullshit. Excuse me, but that's a pile of horseshit. The mafia and the police working together? Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens? The mafia are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about someone ask a real question? Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? Now, do we be a jerk to the mayor? Let's do it definitely. Of course, it's the reason. Personal relations are always important, no matter what anyone says. Thank you. Alright, thank you for that interview as well.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
Just grabbing some pills out, popping 3 of them. Okay. Surely that's not a bad idea.
As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon.
He just takes my cigarette? Oh.
180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me.
What a jerk.
I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
Said with a grin on his face.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
What an introduction. Just picking up the phone. Oh my god. That's the chief of police. For Freeburg. So this is the second day, July 16th. Head of Culture Department owns villa in Italy. Cleanliness of city streets increased by 20%, and civil servants' wages won't be raised this year. All right, let's go to work. So we just gave a press report yesterday and a conference and did nothing else.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eaten here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Alright, would you like to receive tips about how the game works? Show me what you've got. I'm a 60-year-old police chief a few months away from my retirement. I don't need anyone telling me how to do my job. Well, no, let's go. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress and detectives continue their investigation. You can freely move employees between shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. So they can be drunk, they can have stars, the level of tiredness and such. Their professionalism, a figure of around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet even in a pinch. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day and restored 1 point after each day of rest. Alright? Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. Alright, we're starting with Shift B with Officer Kochi, Yancey, Purdy, Tsubaki, Asano, Austin, Price, Mole, Detective De Brito, and Armstrong. How bad can it be? We can't do the absolute worst either. Oh look, we're picking up the cigar. Alright. Responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The further away the destination is from the police station, the longer it takes our officers to travel back and forth.
110B in progress.
So we have a hit and run. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you're allowed to send on a call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat is. Particularly risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. Okay. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on. All of this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. Alright, so hit and run at the Everyday Mall. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he had hit a bum, he got back in the van and quickly drove away. Let's send Purdy and Austin to handle that hit and run where the man just left a homeless person after hitting him with his car. Fight at the Last Picture Show Theater. A theater manager reports that during a show of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater security guard. Alright, this sounds like a job for Yancey and Asano. I'm not sending Price. His professionalism is a minimum of 5. His or her. Her? Yeah, her. Alright. It's thundering. Hit and run. Report. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies, but the truth is sometimes the criminal manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Alright. So we caught the offender, officers are unharmed, and that's a win for us. I may just... oh no, I don't want to. Just reduce the FX audio so that the thundering doesn't deafen us. Alright, let's go.
311A.
Let's check the report of the fight. Offender caught, officers unarmed. Good job, Yancy and Asana. Come back. 2 calls handled, 2 calls positive. First day of your job.
In progress.
Armed robbery. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown who lives in the suburbs. Alright. We're sending out the best we have. Officer Kochi and Subaki. Subaki? I think so. Oh no, okay, we have officers back. Fight at Johnson, Jurgen and Kat's law firm. A brother and sister clashed with each other over the deceased father's will. According to one of their lawyers, we don't dare separate them and our security guard is off duty tonight. One officer should be fine, but let's send 2. Purdy and Austin, why not? Answering our 4th call of the day, and hopefully things go well and we can end our first day on a perfect record.
412A in
Oh,
progress.
there's an assault in the ghetto. A passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then run away with his guitar and his money. We have the option of sending 3 officers, but I think sending Price would hamper and not help. So we'll just proceed with sending Yancy and Asana.
Looks like we have a situation
When your
here.
cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste your time, all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. Alright, the vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. Sneak into the house through an open window, knock on the door, open up. Police, turn on the siren and loudspeaker and shout that the house is surrounded. We're going to sneak into the house. Good job, Officer Kochi and Subaki. Offenders caught, officers unharmed. 3rd call of our day, positive. And report for the fight. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Purdy and Austin with another win for us on our first day at the job. Although it is day 2, this is technically our first day at the job. Still have Mr. or Mrs. Price. I can't really tell.
412A.
The report of assault. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Yancy and Asano, they level up and they are coming back. A positive day. I'm glad. We didn't mess up any of our calls yet. And we can end the day. Alright, let's end the day on a positive note. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime, but if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. Alright, we don't need anyone to walk in tomorrow. I think we're all good. So, let's...
Used to be when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it.
I feel bad for him.
Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years, he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point, every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand.
Uh-oh.
Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people.
31
Old men,
people.
women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it.
They wanted people to know. Of
Frank,
course.
I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We
Also, he
agreed,
is
Frank.
corrupt.
That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
The deputy in cahoots with what seems to be a mafia member. Alright, we're heading into day 3, and I'm going to call it a day here. We'll continue to play through in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed the start up until now. Let me know if I can improve on something by leaving me a comment, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.